Doesn't seem to be much the matter with him now.
You reckon he's all right, eh?
I should think so. Now he's out in the enclosure, keep an eye on him for a few days in case there's been any damage to the kidneys or anything.
Right you are, Charlie boy. He's all yours.
Thanks, Mr. Turner.
You're very welcome, Charlie. Very welcome indeed. So long, Roger.
Have they told you about the llamas?
Llamas?
Do you know anything about them?
I presume you mean the South American animals, not the Tibetan priests.
Well, the ones we've got certainly don't use prayer wheels.
So, what's the trouble?
Well, we lost a youngster last week. Now, some of the others are a bit rocky.
Are they?
I don't suppose there's much you can do about it, but seeing as how you're here, and seeing as how you're being paid for the visit...
I might as well take a look at it. Okay, lead on.
No, it's been a beautiful spell of weather. Morning, Frank. Ah, very nice.
Hello, Walter. Does he need any more lotion for his chromatics?
No, no. He's fine for the time being. Right, now, these are the fellas we've come to see.
Are you sure they're safe?
Safe? Sure, the only thing you have to worry about with these fellas is when they spit in your eye. Oh, they're great spitters, so they are.
Mr. Riley?
It's all right, son. They won't harm you.
No. I mean, there's a camel loose. Look.
Ah, that'll be our last mate. You will let him wander about as he likes so as he can meet the customers. The kids love it.
Yes, but
He's quite safe. Now, these are the fellas we're worried about. Do you care to take a look? Would you like to come up here, Mr. Turner? The gate! The gate! You left the gate open. Go and get him.
Oh,
Fred,
no!
Hi! Somebody stop that beast! Where are you, Fred? Sorry, Bright. All right, lads, don't panic. The case is perfectly harmless.
Now what do we do?
What you do now, Mr. Turner, is you go in and fetch him.
All right. Easy. All right. All right.
I'd shoot the lot of them.
Hello, what are you doing? Oh, my goodness, whatever's happened to you?
That blasted place has happened to me. Again. If I never see another exotic animal in my life, I'll be happy.
Not the zoo.
Yes. The zoo. I've had it with that place. Finished.
You haven't got the sack, have you?
No such luck. No, I've come home to change my clothes and get cleaned up.
Oh, that's a relief then, because I just thought for a
don't
minute,
worry.
you know,
I haven't got enough money to tell old Webb what he can do with this job, much as I'd like to.
Now, just you remember, O'Donnell, just you make haste slowly.
All right. I'll soldier on until I find something better.
Oh, there's a letter for you on the sideboard. Came by the second post.
Thanks.
Who do you know in Shropshire?
Well, nobody special. I got a letter today.
How nice for you. You know someone else who can write.
About another job.
What?
She's inviting me to go for an interview.
That's fantastic. Where? When?
Shropshire. I've got to ring up and arrange a time.
How super. How did all this come about?
I answered an advertisement.
And you never said anything. You are a dark horse sometimes.
Well, I wasn't sure.
But now...
I have got to get away from elephants and tigers and llamas.
I'm sure they haven't got me round the Wrekin. Do you know that part of the country?
No.
It's gorgeous.
We might ride over and take a look around.
When?
How about this weekend?
Great. It's my Saturday off and I'm not working Sunday.
Make a weekend of it.
You mean stay overnight?
I'm sure I could find a nice country inn.
Do you mind?
The Warriors did their best to make the Queen feel she was in the frontier-type town that Calgary was not so many years ago.
We've had a card from Ethel in Prestatyn. Having a very nice time. Chapel has an excellent preacher. Weather quite nice. Ethel.
Who needs Monte Carlo, eh?
Not Ethel, obviously.
Thanks.
I'll be glad when she's back. It's most inconvenient her being away now. The books are falling behind already. Do you know anything about bookkeeping?
No, not a thing.
Oh, pity. Your rag and bow man came in this morning, by the way. Settled his account in cash.
Oh, good. That lameness seems to have cleared up completely. You were
Yeah.
right about it being pedalostitis.
Yes, I must say that cortisone seems to be remarkably quick and effective.
Splendid stuff.
Yeah, but it's pricey, though. I'm surprised you managed to persuade him to pay for it. I suppose you regard his horse as an essential part of his business.
Actually, I think he's genuinely fond of the animal. Probably the only friend he's got.
It's very wise not to rely on human beings. You know where you are with a dog or a horse.
About the zoo.
What about it?
Are you still... Only you did say you were going to do as much as possible.
Look, I don't want to talk about that place. When Howard Rundle decides to do the decent thing and apologizes to me, I'll speak to him again. Till then, they'll have to make do with you.
Well, they're not happy about it. I put up another black there again yesterday.
I can't help that. He's only got himself to blame. Oh, that reminds me. I'll want you to take surgery on Saturday and be on call.
Saturday?
Yes, why? Something wrong?
I was planning to go away for the weekend.
Sorry, it can't be helped. Business must come before pleasure.
Well, yes, of course.
I've got a very important engagement this weekend.
Mr. Webb surgery? No, I'm sorry, we're closed now. No, I'm sorry, this isn't Mr. Webb. This is Mr. Turner. Yes, well, what's the problem? I see. And how long has she been in labour? Right. Right, I'll come out. I'll be with you in about 20 minutes. Bye.
You've got a what?
A mare that's having trouble foaling.
I thought animals did that sort of thing naturally.
Not always. This could take all night.
But I'm all packed and ready. I've told my parents I won't be here.
I'm sorry, darling, but if I don't go out, the mare and foal might both die.
Oh. Can't they find another vet? Well, then you better find old Webb and let him deal with it.
I don't know where he is. And anyway, I'm on duty.
But you promised you'd take me. I was looking forward to... How am I going to explain to my...
Darling, we could go for the day tomorrow.
Oh, well, it's hardly the same thing, is it? I suppose you think this means nothing to me. I suppose you think I'm always agreeing to go away for weekends with men.
No,
Well, of course, if you care more about the mayor than you do about me, there's nothing more to say, is there?
What do you mean?
I think we better forget the whole thing.
Jenny? Hello? Oh, Jenny.
Congratulations, Morris. Yeah, you managed to beat Jack Dawes in your semi-final.
Well, I just had one of those days. I couldn't put a foot wrong. Who am I playing in the final tomorrow?
Well, don't you know? Howard Rundle. A good game. You're well matched, you two.
Hi, Donald. Thanks, Ted. He said we could go out for the day.
Yes,
Oh, you haven't shaved.
I just got back.
Oh, yes, the mare and foal. How was it?
It's touch and go for a while, but I think they'll be okay.
You saved them. That's marvellous. Well, you've earned a day out, haven't you? Come on. Isn't this super?
It's lovely.
Right out of the picture books. And not an elephant in sight for miles.
Let's take a walk around.
Fine. I could do with stretching my legs. Oh, is this it?
Oh, it looks like it.
It's almost too good to be true.
Not bad, eh? You know, I just might take this job.
Thanks very much, Harry.
Cheers, Jack.
It's not that boring around here, is it?
No, of course not.
I had a hard night, that's all.
Sorry.
I should think so. I should expect you to tell me all about it later. A blow-by-blow account of the boat.
So you can write about it.
Why not? It's the sort of thing that'll appeal to the mothering instinct in my readers.
I don't know what you'd do for copy without me.
I'd have to find someone else with an interesting job. An actor, maybe. That'd be rather good.
You know, there's only one thing wrong with this place.
What's that?
It's miles away from anywhere.
Is that bad?
Well, it'd make it harder for me to see you so often.
It's not a million miles away, darling. And your career must come first.
Yes, of course.
Anyway, you mustn't pin yourself down because of me. I don't intend to stay in Manchester all my life. I mean, if the chance came of a job on a national.
Would you like another?
When you're ready. Take your time. Oh.
Afternoon. Let's get on with it then.
Well, good luck, both of you. Rundle to go first.
Those are sticklebacks.
Ooh, are they lovely? Gosh, they're so tiny.
Oh, most of these are probably quite young.
How do you know?
Size, numbers. I shouldn't think they've been out of the nest very long.
Go on. Fishes don't live in nests, do they?
Oh, sticklebacks do. Honestly. The male makes the nest out of vegetable fibre stuck together by sticky threads ejected from his kidneys.
Ugh. They don't live in that, do they? I never thought of fish as being so domesticated. Not much of a life, though, really, is it?
Oh, I don't know. Has its advantages.
Oh, yes, what are they?
They don't have to worry about it when it rains.
Oh, no, we're going to get soaked!
There was that boathouse back there.
Oh, come on, then. You look very inviting. Oh, no!
Oh, hell's teeth!
That was a good putt you had at the fifth.
Thank you.
Must have been 15 feet.
More like 20, I'd have said.
Mind you, you've had a bit of luck with your approach shot if you'd not hooked it.
Look, I deliberately drew that ball round that tree.
Oh, come on, Howard. I know that hook of yours has seen it often enough. I've told you before, you've got the club face closed.
Notice you're getting back into your old bad habits when you're putting.
What do you mean?
Get your putter out and I'll show you.
It's not going to start, is it?
It's probably just the damp. Listen, why don't you go and get another drink while I fix this? It shouldn't take long.
No good at all to her after that. His feet, that is.
Ah, Howard, Morris. Pity about that storm.
Yes, well, I don't believe in staying out there when there's lightning about. We'll play it again next weekend if that's all right.
Yes, the rules allow for that. Yeah, okay.
Good, that's it. Come on then, Morris, I'm getting him in. What are you having?
Something very large, please.
no good, I'm afraid. I can't understand it.
I can. I told you that monster would end up stranding you miles from anywhere.
I've always been able to get it going before.
Perhaps there's a local garage.
I'll ask the landlord. Excuse me.
Oh, well, any luck?
No, I'm afraid not.
Ah.
Is there a garage in the village?
Well, there's old Fred.
Can I phone him from here?
Oh, not this time on a Sunday night, sir. Not with nobody there.
Well, what about his home?
No, he lives over in Bagley. You know, I don't even think he's on the phone. Now, you might have to wait till morning.
Oh, God. Oh, can I have a whiskey, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I put the towels on. More than my license is worth to give you anything after time, sir.
Well,
No joy, I'm afraid. Till the morning.
what do we do till then?
Well... Can you put us up for the night? You do have accommodation.
We'll be wanting 2 single rooms.
Well...
Yes. 2 singles.
I'll go and tell the missus.
Thank you. Oh, say, as I'm a resident, doesn't that mean I can have a drink also? Oh, well. Could be worse, I suppose. Every cloud has a silver lining.
If you mean what I think you mean, you can forget it.
Oh, Jen.
You messed me about last night. You kept me hanging about in this damn pub for hours tonight. If you seriously
Come
think...
on, now.
2 single rooms, I said, and 2 single rooms I mean. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go and find a telephone and call my parents and try to explain why.
Morning, Mr. Riley.
Been on the phone for you half a dozen times.
Nice to find you so cheerful.
You should have been here in the night, young man.
In the night? Why?
I don't know, and I won't ask what you've been up to, but it must have been something really special that you never heard the storm.
I heard it.
Did it not occur to you what effect it might be having on the animals here?
No, Mr. Riley. To tell you the truth, I try not to think about this place when I'm not here.
And to tell you the honest truth, Mr. Turner, we try not to think too much about you either. But now that you're here, you might like to see what you can do for that poor bird over there.
What's the trouble?
Thunder and lightning, that's the trouble. At the height of the storm, half the animals in the zoo panicked and took fright. I wouldn't have been surprised myself to find the poor old giraffes with their necks tied in granny knots.
What's the matter with the bird?
I'm only telling you, the birds in the tropical house started flying wild in all directions. Must have been like the Battle of Britain in there, judging by the state we found things in. Sure, I had to get rid of half a dozen of the most beautiful birds that had damaged themselves beyond repair.
I might have been able to save some if you'd waited for me.
Aye, and then again, you might not. Anyway, you were nowhere to be found out gallivanting.
I got stranded.
Is that what you call it? Well, let's see if you can save old Captain here.
How serious is it?
Broken wing. Obviously from flying into a wire.
I dare say I can manage that. Can you get him out for me so I can look at him?
Come on, Captain, old son. That's a boy. Come out now and see the doctor. That's a boy. There you are. There you are. Out again. Out you come. That's it. Oh, there's a pretty boy then, eh? Not show the doctor the wings.
Yes. Yes, that's broken right enough. Doesn't appear to be any other damage. Yeah. If you'll put him back in the cage, I'll go and get the things I need and come back.
Do you not come prepared?
No, Mr. Riley, I didn't know what you wanted and I came straight from home.
I don't know you young vets. And you go.
Is that it for now?
Yes. No. We had a camel killed by the lightning. I'll need you to sign the certificate for the insurance.
Will you? Well, I have to see the animal first.
There's no need for that. It was found lying dead after the storm. Had to be lightning.
All the same, I'd like to see the body before I sign anything.
There he is. Dead as a dodo.
I better take a look. He's dead, all right.
Well, there you are then. Can I get on now?
As to lightning strike, I'm not so sure.
You what?
I don't think this animal's been struck by lightning.
Now, where did you last see an animal killed by lightning?
That's got nothing to do with it.
Well, I've seen plenty. And I'm telling you, that animal was killed in the storm last night.
And what's this blood? And where are the scorch marks?
He was perfectly healthy yesterday. He was out in the open all during them thunderstorms.
Doesn't mean to say it was struck. He could have died suddenly from any number of causes.
Are you saying you're not going to sign the certificate?
Not until I've done a PM.
A post-mortem on an animal that's been killed by lightning.
On an animal that's died for no apparent reason. I have to report a sudden death, and I have to do a post-mortem to establish the cause.
Are you suggesting we have to report every little animal that suddenly drops dead anywhere in the zoo?
You know the law as well as I do. Naturally, it depends on the animal and the circumstances.
Now listen, Mr. Turner, I know you think you're doing your duty, but don't you think it's all a waste of time? All you have to do is sign the form saying it was lightning strike. Now report that if you must, and then let us get on with running our business.
Making a false report to the ministry is an offence. And putting in a false insurance claim is fraud. Surely I'm not suggesting I condone that.
No, of course not. But do you really think it's worth all the fuss and bother? At the end of the day, the camel is still going to be dead. We're still going to have to replace it.
And what happens to the dead camel?
Well, it's disposed of.
It's good meat and we can't afford to waste it. It'll be fed to the carnivores.
Not until I've done a post-mortem, it won't.
Ah, there you are. I want a word with you, young man.
Yes, Mr. Webb?
What the hell's been going on at the zoo? Howard Rundle's nearly exploding. He's so mad.
Is he? Well, I can't help that.
Do you take some sort of delight in causing trouble?
No, I just like doing my job properly.
Yeah, well, there is such a thing as being over-conscientious, you know.
My conscience is my affair, and I won't bend it for people like Rundle.
No, but the rules are made to be bent a little from time to time, especially when they're really intended to cover farms, not zoos.
The law states that any sudden death that's unexplained must be reported to the authorities, right?
Right, yes,
if
but...
I fail to report it and it turns out to be something nasty, it's this practice that'll catch it, not the zoo.
Yes, that's perfectly true, Donald. We do have to be careful. But in this case, after all that thunder and lightning...
It was not lightning strike.
Oh? Have you finished the PM?
I'm just looking at the blood smears now.
Well, what do you think it is?
I have a nasty suspicion. You better take a look at it before I say anything, in case I'm wrong.
Do you have any other slides? Oh, my God. You better phone the ministry right away.
Anthrax? You say that camel had anthrax?
I'm afraid so, Howard.
You must have made a mistake.
We'll have to get it confirmed before we can be 100% sure, of course.
Oh, we'll have to get rid of that carcass then and quick. Bury it or burn it or something.
The ministry vet will want to see it first.
Well, he could close us down. We could be ruined.
It may be an isolated case, Howard, but it may not. If we just do nothing, you could find yourself with a major outbreak on your hands. Then you really would be ruined.
Anthrax is one of the most deadly germs known to man. It's the kind of thing they use in biological warfare.
Well, it hasn't affected the rest of the stock. I mean, surely we can keep it to ourselves.
Howard, we've got no option.
Oh, be reasonable, Morris. I mean, what harm could it possibly...
Mr. Rundle, is that a boil on your neck?
Well, what the hell's that got to do with anything?
Well, anthrax affects humans as well as animals. One of the first signs can be malignant pustules on the skin.
Malignant?
You sure that's just a boil?
All right. Let's get it over with.
The vet from the ministry's in there. Mr. Rundle's given him the use of my office while he's here.
Cheer up, Mr. Riley. It's all in a good cause.
I hope it doesn't take too long, that's all.
Yes?
Hello, I'm Donald Turner, the vet here.
Ah, glad to meet you, Mr. Turner. Mackintosh.
I beg your pardon?
My name is Mackintosh, David Mackintosh.
Oh, hello.
I'm just confirming your diagnosis.
You agree, it is anthrax?
Aye. I fear there's no doubt about it. You did well to spot it.
Thanks.
What made you suspect it?
I didn't. To tell you the truth, I was just being bloody minded, actually.
Oh? How's that?
Well, let's just say that Homo veterinarius is not the most popular species in these parts. You know how it is in zoos.
No, I can't say I do. No, I'm more used to rooting out fowl pest and swine fever myself. Or foot and mouth like we've got at the moment.
Oh, I wish I was. So, what happens now?
Well, I've slapped a Form A on the premises forbidding all movement in and out. And that carcass will have to be destroyed very carefully. It must either be cremated or buried, very deep with plenty of lime and the ground flamed. In any case, the zoo will have to stay closed until we've cleared every other animal in the place and identified the source of the disease, if possible.
Every other animal? Individually?
Every single one. I'm afraid there are no shortcuts when you're dealing with something as deadly as this.
Could take days and days, weeks even.
Yes, I'm afraid it could.
Weeks with the place closed up, not a penny coming in. All the stock to be fed and looked after, the staff to be paid, all the other bills coming in.
Yes, it's very unfortunate, Howard, but it can't be helped.
Unfortunate, it's a bloody disaster. We're already on the brink of bankruptcy. We lose much more, the directors will shut up shop. It's happened in other zoos, you know.
Yes, I know.
They'll simply shut up shop and I'll be done for. Finished. And what'll Alice say then? I'll never get another job at my age.
Oh, rubbish. You're a qualified accountant. Anyway, I'm sure it won't come to that.
The ministry vet says he's going to keep us closed until they found out the cause, and he's no idea how long it'll take.
Well, he'll do the best he can. He's a vet, not a bailiff.
But he's on his own. He says they're very short-handed because everybody else is working on this foot and mouth outbreak over in Yorkshire. That takes priority over us.
Aye, well, it would. It's bad there. Have you seen the pictures on the news of all the animals having to be destroyed? Farmers losing everything.
At least they get compensation, don't they? Feather-bedded again. We go bust, that's it.
If you don't stop worrying, you won't be here to see if the zoo goes bust or not. Now, come on. Drink up. Try and forget it for a bit.
If that lad of yours had done as I asked and signed the certificates, none of this would have happened.
Oh, no. You'd have cut the carcass up and fed it to the other animals, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes.
Yes, and then you'd really have been in trouble. It wouldn't have been just one camel then. It'd be an epidemic. We could have ended up destroying the lot. You just be grateful young Donald spotted it when he did.
All right, all right.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do to help you out. I'll send him over tomorrow to help the ministry vet. How's that?
Well, I'd be very grateful.
Never mind being grateful, just get me another drink. I'll have a double this time.
It's my turn.
It is now. Go on.
You know, Morris, I've just thought, if they do find any more cases, we could still end up losing the lot.
Do you think there might be a needle in this lot?
Might be easier.
What we need for this job is Sherlock Holmes, if you ask me.
The trouble is, they let that blasted animal wander about the entire zoo. If it had been confined to the one enclosure, we could have shut it off, disposed of the carcass, and let the rest of the zoo go about its business. But as there is no way of knowing where it's been or what it's been in contact with, we have to check everything.
All the other animals are at risk.
That's right.
There must be something we can do for them.
We could inject them with preventative doses of penicillin until we get the lab report on this lot.
You don't really think she's got it, do you, Mr. Turner?
Certainly hope not, Mr. Riley. But hay does come from the same lot as the camels. Come on.
There you go.
Okay.
Steady up now, Steady up. All right, there we are.
All right.
Steady go. Here we are.
There you go. Okay.
I don't suppose he has a soft spot anywhere.
You doing the bread, Andy? Come on, boy.
Well, there you are, Sunshine. They're all yours,
Thanks.
if you could catch them. You did remember to shut the gate, I suppose.
He's been working very hard these last few days.
Yes. Don't you do anything but sleep these days?
What are you doing here?
I, thought I ought to come and see how you were.
Well, I'll make us a nice cup of tea.
Oh, that would be lovely, Mrs. Stormy. When I didn't hear from you, I wondered.
I thought you weren't interested anymore.
I know. I was horrid to you. I'm sorry.
No, it was my fault. You were right.
You couldn't help it, could you?
No.
Looking back on it now, it was pretty funny, you must admit.
Oh, you didn't think so at the time.
Never mind. Forgive and forget, eh?
With pleasure. As long as you promise not to write about it.
I promise.
It won't be long.
What's all this I've been hearing about the zoo?
Go ahead.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Oh, yes, Mr. Riley. What's that you got there?
Oh, it's the feed orders for next week, sir. I thought I might as well get them done now.
Put them on the desk, would you? You want a drink?
Oh, it's a bit early in the day for me, sir.
What the hell's that got to do with anything? I've only got this malt scotch and got the Irish, is that right?
Oh, Scotch will do just fine, sir.
Get yourself a glass. What's going on out there, anything?
Oh, nothing different, sir. Inject the animals one by one. It's a terrible slow affair, so it is.
So that young twerp from Morris Webb's office is hopping about there having the time of his life?
You can't really blame the laddie. He's only done what he thinks is right.
Yeah, so did Italy.
What's that, sir?
He'll have done for us all the same.
How do you mean?
Been together a long time, haven't we, Paddy? Ever since you first came across the water. Good many years.
Aye, and we've a good few yet, sir.
Have we?
As bad as that, sir, eh? So if the bank turns nasty...
Always knew there was something funny about that Turner bloke. First minute I clapped eyes on him, I thought, here's trouble. You ready?
Oh, no, I haven't started this one yet, sir. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, what will you do with yourself?
Well, if the worst comes to the worst, I don't know. I have a few bob put by me, but God knows how on the pittance you pay me, but enough. There's a wee farm I've had my eye on. Near a wee place called Cullybecky in the County Antrim, next door to my brother's place.
You wouldn't look for another zoo job?
My time of life? I don't think so, sir. I have too many friends in this place. If I had to bid them all farewell, I think... If we don't all have ulcers before this is over, it'll be a miracle.
There you are.
Oh, hello. Any luck?
The labs report no trace of anything on the foodstuffs.
Oh. Okay, let him go. So we're no further forward.
Hello. You're late. You look all in. Have you finished?
For tonight. We've still got hundreds of animals to check.
It's a shame, keeping that zoo shut up.
Well, if we don't find some answers soon, it could stay shut for good. Apparently the directors have given them a deadline of next weekend. If we can't get it open by then.
Dear me, that's hard, that is.
Not half as hard as a major outbreak of anthrax would be.
Oh, it's a very nasty thing, is anthrax. Do you know, they say that during the First World War, the Germans tried to bring it over here to kill all our horses.
Charming. How are they planning to do that, I wonder? Oh. Is this bone meal sterilized?
I don't know. It's just bone meal to me.
Bone meal. Bone meal.
Where are you going?
Back to the zoo. Can you put my supper in the oven or something?
Bone meal?
That's right, Mr. Rundle. The stuff your gardeners put on their rose beds. Mr. Turner took a sample, and it was found to be contaminated with anthrax spores.
Well, I'll be damned. What made you think of that?
Well, bone meal's a marvellous fertilizer. My grandmother sells it by the hundredweight. But it's also a well-known carrier of anthrax, which isn't surprising when you think what it's made of.
You don't think somebody's been feeding it to the animals, do you? I mean, like the sleeping pills to the tiger.
Eh?
No. If you remember, the camel used to wander freely around the grounds. It could have been rooting in the flower beds.
So, if you burn that consignment of bone meal, change your fertilizer, and don't let the animals walk about outside their enclosures...
We can open up again.
Anytime you like.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. You don't know how much this means to me.
That's good. Well, I must be on my way, so have a good weekend.
Oh, I will. Believe me, I will.
It made a super story. Thanks for the exclusive. Jim Perry was delighted.
Good. It's nice to have a happy ending occasionally.
Yes.
Mind you, I was beginning to lose hope when it got to Thursday and Friday.
Crazy, isn't it? You knocking yourself out trying to save the zoo.
Crazy. Still, I couldn't let animals like Raja and Walter the tapir be put down. Not after, you know.
When's your interview for the other job?
Wednesday, my half day.
You're not getting second thoughts, are you?
About leaving the zoo work? No, of course not. Why?
No, nothing. I just wondered.
Strange, isn't it? I never thought I could care for creatures like Raja.
Well, you did save his life. Isn't that caring?
Well, I'd do that for any animal. Mind you, it was pretty amazing being in such close contact for so long. All that power. Very exciting.
That was a jammy shot.
Jammy be damned, that was bloody well played.
You found your form all right.
Just play your shot.
Congratulations, you jammy devil.
Thank you.
Howard, my God. Howard! Get an ambulance, somebody. Quick! Call an ambulance! It's a stroke.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Is it serious?
Well, they won't be sure for a few days. But it's bad enough.
Do you think the strain of the last few days brought it on?
I wouldn't be surprised. He was very worried.
Will he recover well enough to come back to work, do you think?
I very much doubt it, personally.
I suppose the zoo will be needing a new manager then.
I dare say. Well, that's some sort of silver lining to all this. With Howard gone, I'll be able to give up the zoo practice at last. They can find somebody else. I know that'll please you anyway, eh?
Yes. Yes, of course.